My name is Fred Dorsey. I'm a descendant of the Dorsey family here in Howard County, and I've been working with the Department of Rec and Parks researching the history of Belmont and the families that have lived here over the years. Well, all the stories that I have done here at Belmont, Billy Barton is one of the most interesting. Right now we're standing very close to where Billy Barton was buried. He was a well-known racehorse back in the 20s. But his career ended very quickly as a result of being undisciplined and being disruptive on the track. In the stables, he would kick at the different stable help. When they got to the race line, he was disruptive on the horses trying to get there, kicking at them. As a result of that, after so many times, the Racing Commission said they just couldn't allow him to continue to be that way and to race.
My grandfather, Howard Bruce, was called to Pimlico in the mid-20s to look at a horse that had soured on racing at the flat track. The horse happened to be Billy Barton. He just wasn't trying, and they weren't going to let him run anymore because people would bet on him, and it'd be a waste of money, a loss of money. But had some breeding and had some past performance that would indicate that if he could ever get back to that level of performance, he'd be a very good horse. And he bought the horse, brought him home. He fox-hunted the horse and gave him a new lease on life.
Well, Howard was a president of a small steel company in Baltimore. His wife, who was also a descendant of Caleb Dorsey, the original builder of Belmont, they saw an opportunity to buy the house, the property, and the large expanse of land that was here.
Howard Bruce loved fox hunting, and I think Billy Barton may not have loved fox hunting, but he liked doing it with Howard Bruce.
But as he could see Billy's jumping ability, he felt that he could really become a great steeplechaser. And Billy Barton didn't disappoint him. In one year, Billy Barton won both the Maryland and the Virginia Hunt Cup, which I don't think has been duplicated since that time. In 1928, he had been so successful here in this country in the Hunt Cups. Howard wanted to reward him by going to the Grand National in Aintree, England. The field in 1928 was that of 44 horses. By the time they came to the last jump, it was down to Billy Barton and Tipperary Tim, who was 100-to-1 shot. As they approached the last jump, and in the process of making the jump, Billy Barton and his jockey were bumped by a riderless horse and went to the ground. The jockey quickly jumped up, mounted Billy, and they finished second to the 101 shot Tipperary Tim. When 1929 came around, he felt that he owed it to himself and to Billy to make another try at the Grand National. But here again, by the time the race was down to the last couple jumps, there were only 3 horses left. And as Billy Barton cleared the last jump, he came down on a fallen horse and a jockey. Again, he was a bridesmaid, finishing second.
It's sort of extraordinary to think that this horse didn't even win the race, but it was noteworthy enough to put him on the cover of Time magazine in 1929.
Billy Barton passed away in March of 1951, and it was in 1952 that a Maryland sculptor, Henry Brenner, made a full-scale bronze sculpture of Billy Barton, and it was dedicated at Laurel Park in 1952, becoming the first horse statue to be placed in a Maryland racetrack. When he died, Howard Bruce wanted to do something significant to show his respect and recognition of Billy Barton. And he had him buried here standing up in full tack. And this would have been a fitting tribute to recognizing the success and the respect that Howard had for Billy Barton. Both poems and prose had been written about Billy Barton, but I think being able to transform himself from an undisciplined racehorse into one of the greatest timber horses was quite an accomplishment for the heart of Billy Barton.
He was pretty spectacular.